what's up? I'm stupid. Nice to meet you. Like that's we need people to get outside and do stuff. It's like it's good when I'm very active too, and it's like I love to see when people are out there just doing stuff outside. It's like I go four wheeling, motorcycling, jet skiing, kayaking, um, you name it, boating, four wheeling. We go mountain biking. It's like we try to do all that fun stuff outside, so it's kind of crazy. But I love hearing where people are from, and I love hearing what people like to do for fun and what's fun in their areas. So like I had someone from Australia the other morning, and all I could think of was kangaroos. So I'm like, so do you have a lot of kangaroos? And I didn't realize kangaroos are violent animals. Did you guys know this? Like kangaroos, this person told me like you have to watch when you go outside. If there's kangaroos in your neighborhood, they'll run up and kick you. Like you gotta watch out for kangaroos. It's almost like they're mountain lions. These kangaroos will come around and they'll kick you. They're violent. So you never turn your back to a kangaroo. And she's like, you don't have kangaroos in America? I'm like, in zoos, like we don't have them like hopping down the street. They had no idea. So I was like, who knew? Who knew that there's like kangaroos attacking people in Australia? But she said, yeah, we have them everywhere. And they're like a nuisance. They're everywhere. But you got to watch out for them because they're like, could you imagine going out to get the mail in the morning or something still dark and you get kicked by a kangaroo? And then she said the kangaroos do box. The next thing I thought of was like, do kangaroos box? Because you know that they like, if they can kick, I've seen them with the boxing gloves where they hit stuff. I don't know. This is all I can think of, chat. I thought of like Australia and I could only come up with kangaroos and boxing. And she taught me a whole bunch more things I didn't know. So she's like, what crazy animals do you have in Iowa? And I'm like, I don't know. We, nothing. I mean, we swim in the lakes. There's no crocodiles. We have no mountain lions. We have no bears. We have nothing. We just have gardener snakes, which I hate snakes. But we have gardener snakes and stuff that show up. But besides that, it's like nothing, chat. It's pretty safe in Iowa. We could jump in any body of water. We can camp. We could sleep in a tent overnight, and no bear is going to eat us or claw through the tent. Iowa, you're just safe. There's not much out here that's going to bother you. Safe in Iowa. I don't know, chat. It's crazy. No, it's crazy. It's really crazy, guys. It's crazy to think all that stuff because I think of that every time I take a trip. Like last time I went to Utah, they have like deer and a few other things. Last time I was in Colorado, based on the elevation we are, there's no snakes at higher elevations. There's no snakes. So that's the crazy thing. You get high enough in the air, there's nothing. You don't have to worry about it. But you go to Colorado, and I've hiked on trails, and here comes a bear walking by. It's like, it scares me to death. So you have to wear bells. I take a taser. I have an industrial taser. This should take down a bear. It's the strongest I can buy. I have a whistle. It's called a hyper whistle. It's the loudest whistle they make. If you've never looked up a hyper whistle, it's so cool. I buy really cool gadgets, guys. You blow this whistle, it comes with earplugs. And I'm like, I don't need this. I can't plug my ears. I blew it. I couldn't hear for a half hour. My ears were ringing for a half hour. I blew it so hard. And it hurt. I mean, it hurt. And so I'm like, if I blow this thing, it's going to make this poor bear deaf. And then I bought bear spray. I had 2 cans of bear spray that clip onto your side. So I had those in my pants. I had 2 of those. I had industrial police mace. And then I had my taser and then I had my whistle. And I'm like, if this poor bear comes up and comes at me and I spray it with bear spray, I'm going to spray mace in its eyes so it's not going to be able to see. I'm going to blow my whistle, it's going to be deaf. And then I'm going to mace it and bear spray it. And the last thing, if this thing's not down yet, I'm going to run up and have to tase it, like tase the bear. And I'm like, have you heard of tasing a bear? Like, I think that if the bear was like messed up or whatever and you get close enough, you run up. And I Googled, like, how do you tase a bear? Because you never really think of this. The softest place to tase a bear, if you guys want to know this. If nothing works, you blew your whistle, you sprayed it with mace, tear gas, everything else to this poor bear, and he's still like coming at you. You're supposed to tase him in the face. The face is the softest part of the bear. So here's what I pictured. I picture this bear coming at me. I'm blowing the whistle. I'm spraying with both hands, spraying everything. This bear's getting mad, and it's deaf, and it's blind. It can't see. It's running at me, and then it comes right up to me, and I tase it right in the face, and it goes down. I mean, this thing has got quite a bit of voltage. I bought like an industrial. I buy industrial everything. Why buy something that's gonna like just give you a little shock? This thing's gonna like give a powerful shock. But if that bear goes down, first thing I'm doing, I'm jumping on it, taking a quick selfie, and I'm out of there. It's like you gotta get a selfie, right? I'm not leaving without my bear selfie. If I put all the effort to take a bear down with sprays and with whistles and with a taser, I'm getting my picture, guys. I'm gonna jump on that bear and get a picture. You know, Ash, what's up? I'm so getting a picture. I'm not going to leave that bear there. If I tase that bear, I'm getting a picture. I'm getting a selfie, and I'm out. And it's the biggest thing with bears when you're hiking on trails and hiking through the woods and stuff. No, so tasing this bear would be just awesome. But I never thought you'd tase a bear in the face. Can you imagine how scary that'd be? But they said the biggest thing when you're hiking, you want to wear bells and things. You want to make noise. Because the biggest thing is people hike on trails. You come around a corner and the bear sees you and you see it for the first time and it scares the bear. You never want to scare it. You want them to hear you coming. So you're supposed to make noise. I don't know if that's for the... Then I get confused because it said for a black bear you do one thing, for a brown bear you do something else. So it's like, how do you know what to do? When do you know when to play dead, and when do you know when to get up and like make a lot of noise and be big? I would get confused because like the one, I don't know, a black bear... I don't know. I don't know the black and brown things. I'd have to look it up next time I go because a brown bear you do one thing and black bear you do another. I think the brown bear you're supposed to like be loud. So now we're talking about bears. When you're hiking and you run across a bear, I have a hyper whistle. It's the loudest whistle they make. It's a big orange whistle. And when you blow it, it comes with earplugs. And they say you put it in. I blew it at my house. It was deaf for like a half hour. It's serious. It's crazy. Then I had bear spray, mace, and pepper spray, but I had the police stuff. And then I had industrial taser. When I say industrial, this thing, whenever you shock, I could probably take down a cow with this thing. But it's like if I'm hiking and a bear comes out, I'm gonna have all the protection I can have. But they say you're supposed to make noise because when you're hiking and stuff, you come around a corner, you scare a bear. That's where it freaks them out. But one bear attacks and you're supposed to play dead. The other one you're supposed to like be loud. But I mix them up. So it's weird that they'd have different things. Like a brown bear or a black bear would have two totally different things. One says be loud, the other one says play dead. How do you know? Like, I would get so confused, like, what was it? Brown is what? Black is what? I would never remember what to do. So, I don't know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Black bear, brown bear. Which one's which? Like, which one do you make noise, and which one do you, like, play dead? Do you know? Black bear act big and make noise. Grizzly bear play dead. So the black bear act big and make noise, and the grizzly bear play dead. Fetal position. But J-Man, I just... Have you ever seen a grizzly bear? Have you ever been out there close to a grizzly bear? I don't know how... With a grizzly bear, I don't... This is bad. I don't know how I ever couldn't run. If a bear's coming at you and attack you, I just don't see how any logical person is going to say, I'm going to squat down in the fetal position and hide. No, I stay in places where they're not. I've seen black bears on trails, and we made noise, and I had my hyper whistle, my taser, and I had my bear spray, and I had my police industrial pepper spray and mace, and I had all the crazy stuff. But I don't see why, if a bear's coming at you, a grizzly bear's coming at you, I don't see how you can't run. And even like when I've went with family and stuff on these trips, we went out there, we thought we heard a noise, and I said, this sounds like someone. I turned around, they're running. They're running off the trail and left me there while I was trying to figure out what it was. Nobody told me they're running. I'm like, am I the slowest of the group that they just assumed I was going to take one for the team? And I was going to be the one that got like attacked. I don't know. I see antelope, elk a lot. I see a moose. Kind of. You hear going, yeah. I saw a lot of mooses in Colorado. Like moose. Is it mooses? Moose is moose. What's the plural for moose? Mooses? Moose. I see a lot of moose. Mooses, antelope, antelopes. Elks. Elk. That's weird. Is that the same? So elk, antelope, and moose are all singular and plural? I saw antelope, which could be singular or plural. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Antelope. Antelope, elk, and moose. Is that weird? Those three things, they're singular and plural, right? I saw a bunch of mooses. You don't say mooses. That'd be mouses. Spell mouse. Mooses? Chad, help me out on this. It's singular, plural. Antelope, elk, and moose. How do you say that plural when it's more than one? Coyotes. You can say coyotes. You don't say, I saw a bunch of coyote, right? I saw a bunch of antelopes. I saw a bunch of antelope. I saw a bunch of elk. Elk is singular and plural, right? Is it just moose, right? Yeah. That's weird. I don't know how I never realized that. So I go to Colorado a lot. So I'm in Colorado. We see a ton of moose. I had a moose walk across the trail. I was talking with our group. We had a bunch of friends that went up there, rented a place. And I was walking on a trail where there's a waterfall. And I turned around like this. And it was walking across the trail. And I stopped. And I went up. I was like, I went to yell. I was like, what are you doing riding across the trail? I thought it was a person on a horse riding across the trail. And I could have reached out like this, just touched them. And I looked up and realized big moose, big antlers. And I stopped. And I just slowly stepped back. So moose have really bad eyesight. So he walked across. I don't know how he didn't see me. And I just slowly backed up. And everybody, I turned around, they're just like all frozen, like, dude, it was bigger than me. It's huge. And it walked across the thing, and I sat there to step back. And I don't know if it was friendly, if it knows people, but it walked across and was done. And then we saw the mama and baby, the baby calf or baby, I don't know what you call a baby moose. Is that a calf? It was like right off like 50 feet away over the side. So it was walking back over to where they were. We didn't even see it in the side that came out. So I'm like, and they get very territorial towards the babies. So I'm like, I had no idea. So it walked right by me, but I didn't have my taser or anything with me at that time. But that was so the funny thing, when I saw this moose and it walked across in front of me, instead of panicking and running, I did freeze. And what did I do? I reached down like this, pulled up my camera, and took a picture. I have a picture like right in front of me, and I kind of held my hand up to show how close he was. It's so dumb. I don't know why I'd risk it all for a crazy moose, but it's like I wanted a picture. And I was so close, I was like, no one's gonna believe I'm standing right next to a wild moose that's walking across the trail in front of me. So I kind of put out a picture, took a picture, just kind of stepped back, and I turned I have a video of it too. I should find that video. I did the video of me walking backwards as I stepped away, and I'm like, this is crazy. A wild moose just out here, a yearling. I wonder if it's a yearling. And then what is it? What, after it's 2 years old, is it called a dueling? Yeah, and then we saw a bear on a trail too, and these people are trying to get close to these bears to take pictures. And the bears are walking through a parking lot, walking past a car, and people are getting out, and people are reaching out their sunroofs, taking pictures. Like, get in your car. And the bears are looking at them. They had little cubs that were running with them. It's like, those mama bears with cubs are meat. It's like, you don't want to mess with them. I'm like, what are these people doing? These people just want pictures. Like, these are not pets. You're not in a zoo. They're not taking. These are wild animals in a park, and these people are trying to get. I guess, I don't know. I probably can't talk because I was trying to get some pictures of the moose. And I did take a lot of pictures of the bears that we saw and the baby bears. But I stayed a couple car lengths away. I was close enough I could run, or I could hit my hyper whistle, or I could tase them. So I was being careful, chat. I didn't want to get too close. What's up, Ivy? So, yeah. So that's what we did there, chat. That was fun. I got to post those pictures out because that was nuts. And we stayed on a house up on a mountain with our friends there. And it had a big porch out front. We sit out there at night and stuff. And you could overlook, see the whole city of, it was in Estes Park. Beautiful resort, but you'd hear stuff in the woods behind you and stuff. I'm like, what if a bear comes around this deck? You can't. There's big windows on one side of the house, and there's like, you know, a whole bunch of long chairs along the side sitting on the one part. I'm like, if a bear comes around here, we're all gonna like scatter. Like, there's no way to get in the house. You have to go left or right to get out of the house. I'm like, there's so many animals and things moving at night out here. It's kind of crazy. You just have a few lights on because you want to be able to see, but it's nuts. So I don't know. It's crazy. But like when I did the Narrows, we hiked the Narrows. That was so much fun. I would absolutely go back there again. I love the Narrows. Where you go through the water, and we had to put special rubber shoes, and we had the sticks you rent, and you're going through with little things, and you're walking over boulders and walking up this creek, and the walls are just so far high. You're way down this little valley, and you pack some food and stuff on you, which is kind of crazy. And you're just walking through this valley, which is just crazy. And they said if it rains, you need to get out of there because it takes forever to get out of there. The Narrows are awesome. I love the Narrows. We hiked 8 hours, one direction. And then going back, it only was like 4 to 6 hours. It's faster coming back than leaving. But I'm always thinking, like, if you twisted your ankle here, there's no getting out. There's no way to... You can't get out of there any easy way. They'd have to evac you or something out. But I could have went further. And we were hiking as far as we could. Then finally, it's like 8 hours was long enough because we took food and stuff. And there's a couple places where the water was deep. We had to put our packs up overhead and walk through water. Like, up to, like, our chest, which was crazy. It just depends how much rain and stuff that they get. So that was kind of nuts. But, yeah. So that was fun. That's definitely... Really... Juno, what's up, man? So that was fun. So the Narrows are fun to hike. I definitely recommend that. I love all Arizona. There's so much fun hiking down in the Phoenix area down there. I went to Sedona and spent 10 days in Sedona 2 years ago, and that was fun. I worked down there during the day and then hiked at night, and that was fun. We got up in the morning and hiked, and we spent the weekends there. But we did 10 days, so we get 2 full weekends of just hiking. We averaged 10 miles a day hiking. That's up and down hills. And you come back at the end of the night, and your knees would be so sore from going up and down stuff that I have ultrasonic wraps that you put on your legs, and you put them on. It's red light therapy. If you guys want to know anything about red light therapy, I am the expert. But you put it on your knees for a half hour at level 4, and it goes deep into the tissues of your leg. You do a half hour each leg, and I use them on my ankles. I have the 90-degree ones. And you put them on, so it's half hour, half hour, half hour, and half hour. But I liked it, so I bought 2 sets. So I have one for me and one for my partner to go that they put on. But after 10 miles, I do a half hour, so 2 hours at night, watch a little TV and come back, put a half hour on each leg and on each ankle, wake up in the morning. It gets deep into your bones, and it gets the circulation moving. It reduces inflammation. And next morning you wake up, you're good to go. 10 miles a day. And if you see, I mean, I can easily hike. I can easily hike 6 to 8 miles easy. 10 miles is a push because you're climbing up hills. And Sedona's doesn't have real steep hills, but we did some pretty trick things. Like we did Devil's Bridge and a few other things that was out there. It was crazy. And it snowed one day when we were up there, so it was slippery on some of the trails. Some of those trails are very narrow. But we hiked everything. We hit Bell Tower. We hit all the vortexes there, where you feel all the energy and stuff, which is that's another whole long discussion. But Scottsdale, that's awesome too. But I love hiking. It's fun to hike. It's fun to see stuff there. And there's no animals. Nothing's going to attack you. There's no spiders, no snakes. I didn't see anything. You see a few mountain goats and stuff here and there, but that's about it. And deer. But that was one nice thing about hiking. You didn't have to worry about things. I'll go back to Utah, and I'll go back to Sedona just to hike. So it's kind of cool. But if you go to Sedona, I have all kinds of little cheat sheets. We were there for 10 days. So on the weekends, all the hotels in town in Sedona on the weekends, on Fridays, Saturdays, just the Fridays and Saturdays, they triple in price. So everything's triple. And then Sunday through Thursday, and then you check out Friday morning, it goes back down to a third of the price. So I would stay in town during the week, and on the weekends, we'd stay one town away and just drive back and forth. And it was the same. It's like a third of the price. So it's like you save so much money by not being there on the weekends, because the weekends it's packed. But during the week, you can get in anywhere, you can eat anywhere, you can do all the stuff, you can hike. Trails aren't full. But the biggest problem you have when you go to Sedona is the trails have very limited parking. So trying to find parking, you're taking the shuttles or whatever, you're parking along roads, you're parking wherever you can find a spot. Half the time, if you don't get those trails early, there's no parking spots. These lots all fill up and you just drive around trying to find spots all day, which gets very frustrating. We learned really easy. The hike during the week was easier because there was less people there. Weekends, there's no chance. You got to find something that's farther away or something that's got a bigger parking lot or something like that, because it just gets impossible. But yeah, I could talk about travel. J-Man, I could talk about travel forever. I've been to a lot of places. There's a lot of places I haven't been yet that are on my list, but I have a lot of favorites in the U.S., and I have favorites outside the U.S. I really like that I'd go to. And there's some places I would never go back to. So it just kind of depends what you like to do. But hope everybody's doing well. Love everybody. Hope everybody has a really good night, has a good week. It must be a full moon. There's lots of craziness going on across, I think, everybody's work right now. Just be patient with people. Everybody's stressed out. People are stressed out on TikTok. People are stressed out at work. Guys, just gotta keep pushing the positive, turn stuff around. It's crazy. A lot of people going through a lot of different things, but just gotta spread the love, be positive, be there to help people out, and support them. So I appreciate all you guys. Though it's good.